Will Rowland here again. I'm just reading the second part of A True Story of Hope about Darren Tunningley, a violent armed robber who kicked a 300 a day heroin habit and eventually became a youth pastor. There he is. And by the way, these testimonies I'm doing at the moment are taken from Voice magazine, which is the magazine of the Full Gospel Businessman Fellowship International. And there is hold on, there's their website, if I can get it. There's their website and email address. So let's get back to the testimony. So we got to here, I think, but where Job, he'd just read the book of Job. So this story just gripped me. This guy, Job, had everything and then lost everything. Through it all, he would not move on his faith in God. I just thought, what made God so real to him that he would not move no matter what? And then in the end, he got it all back. And then some. And there's a picture of Darryl. I've been stabbed and shot at. I should be dead. So I picked up a leaflet and read the page that said, prayer to become a Christian. Well, it didn't make sense to me, so I just said my own version. In prison, I didn't waste words, so the gist of what I said was, God, if you're real, prove it. I've tried to stop the violence. Nothing I do works. I've tried to stop the drugs. If you're real, prove it. Take away my drug addiction. Take away all this anger that's inside me. If you do that for me, I'll live the rest of my life for you. That was it. There was no bright lights, no roll of thunder, no visitations from angels. Then I just went to bed. Yet when I woke up next morning, a series of weird events started to happen. The first thing I'd always do when I woke up was have a smoke in bed. But now the thought of tobacco made me feel sick. I got the cig and the tobacco and threw it out of the cell window. As soon as I'd done that, I felt better. Usually I'd also smoke a joint, but as soon as the thought popped into my head, I started to feel sick again. So I got the weed and threw that out of the window too. As soon as I'd done it, I stopped feeling sick. Then I noticed something really odd. I looked in the mirror and almost couldn't recognise my face because I was smiling. I actually felt so happy. Every bit of anger and guilt and frustration had gone. I knew I had to speak to someone who knew a little bit more than me. I went down to the principal officer's office. Within half an hour, the chaplain arrived. He said, come on, we'll go to the chapel. So we went round to the chapel where I told him what had happened. He then explained that God had heard what I said and he set me free. From that day on, I haven't touched drugs, I haven't smoked, I haven't been drinking, I haven't had a fight. Within a couple of weeks, I was in the chapel speaking, trying to tell people what had happened. Soon afterwards, I was moved from a Category A to a Category C prison, something that never happens. When I moved to Buckley Hall, I wrote a letter and my dad came up. He just sat down in the visiting hall and looked at me. He said, I've got my son back. He could see the drugs had gone. Everything had gone and I was back. Since then, my dad and my mum have both become Christians. I come out of prison at 21 years old, joined an Assembly of God church where I married the pastor's daughter, Rebecca. God has blessed us and we have a little boy, Benjamin, and a daughter, Lydia Grace. I have written my biography called Unreachable, published by Sovereign World. Before I did the Alpha course, Jesus was just an irrelevant historical figure who said and did a lot of good stuff. Now he's everything to me. I couldn't live without him. He is more important to me than the air I breathe. I found the true riches in life, which are so much better than my old life of robbery, and with no misery attached. Call out to him and you will find he is there for you too. The writer Darryl Tunningley is now an ordained minister at Hope Corner Community Church, Runcorn, Cheshire. He can be contacted on I better not put his number because I haven't asked him permission. So yeah, his book's called Unreachable, his biography, Unreachable, and it's by Sovereign World. Well, that's the end of this testimony. I hope you enjoyed it.